Cloud. All right, now we live. All right, so welcome back this week for Flow for Life. What Flow for Life means is being yourself at all times and doing it for life. So this week for episode 24, I got Tamala Waters, and she's a special guest. And the topic this week is going to be called Your IRS Weapon. So Tamala, she's a tax preparer, and she's been doing taxes for years. I'm talking since we was in high school. They don't even know, but
It's 2011. It's been a minute.
for real. And she was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. She's a John Marshall graduate. And like I said, she's a licensed tax preparer. I'm about to give her the floor. So Tamala, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, as Deontay stated, I am Tamala Waters. I graduated from John Marshall High School. I am a tax preparer. This is my first year on my own tax service, but this is not my first year preparing taxes. I have two children. I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I do plan to relocate, so that means Peerless Tax Service will be franchising. But as you stated, we're going to be discussing different things about taxes. And not only do I do taxes, though, here at Peerless Tax Service, I also offer business services such as, helping people get started with their business, creating LLCs, EINs, business credit education, and more. Throughout this interview, I will go into details of the different services that I can provide, but I'm giving the floor back to Deontay. So you can ask me whatever you like.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate that for you opening up the floor and stuff like that, and educating people on what you do as a tax preparer. Now, first of all, I want to ask you, what made you become a tax preparer? Like, what drove you to hop in this field?
Okay, so it started in high school. Okay. Um, a great friend of the family, she did taxes for years. And she was like, hey, if you know someone that needs their taxes done, give them my number and refer a friend. So I got paid off of just referring people. And back in the day, that was a lot of money because, like I said, I was in high school at the time. Probably just started in when I was in like the 10th grade, I want to say. So I would just go out hunting for people, trying to get people to get their taxes done so I could get paid. And then when I became 18, after I graduated high school, I let someone do my taxes. Okay. And long story short, I believe that I got played. It was my first year of filing my son. So I was looking forward to this big tax return. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So I didn't know at the time, like now they have check my refund, and check the status you can call. But back in 2010, 2009, and 11, I didn't know that. I didn't know that information. And I don't even know, it probably did exist, but I didn't know. So long story short, I said I never let nobody do my taxes again, ever. So what I did was after I graduated high school, I went to Jackson Hewitt and I became licensed to do taxes. So for the last couple of years, I just pretty much been, doing taxes from home with my PTIN. But I was running into too many issues with getting my money from people, services. So I said it's time that, I take the next step and, open up a tax service.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And yeah, I want to ask you too, how long did it take you to actually get licensed when it came to becoming a tax preparer?
It took about back then it was like 6 weeks, 6 weeks, and I was doing night classes too. Because at the
Okay.
time I was still an STNA too, so I was kind of trying to do two things at once.
Okay, no, I feel it. So instead of working for like the IRS or other tax preparer services, what made you want to start your own business instead?
I just always wanted to be my own boss. So, no middleman. Don't tell me what you want to pay me. Don't tell me what time I can punch your clock. I just wanted to be my own boss. And I've been my own boss for years. So it was only right to own my own tax service. I already know the games. Of course, you have updates and things like that, but it was was no way I was going into Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block being a little rep.
No, I feel it for sure. No, I respect that because a lot of people would have dived into that first before starting their own business so that they can
Yeah.
figure out the business model and the structure of that company and use and implement those I guess
Well,
those
I took a
fundamentals.
couple of webinars and seminars with this lady named Keisha. Okay, her name on Instagram is Tax on Track. And how I found Keisha was on YouTube, of course. So I was YouTubing different tax preparers and their reviews on owning a tax office, the pros and the cons. And Keisha pretty much motivated me and gave me the confidence to go ahead and take the next step to open up a tax service.
Hmm. Okay. So yeah, no, that's a good process. At least you had to, I guess, learn from somebody else that was
Yeah,
already doing it.
Keisha is
So,
great.
what's your process and how do you get paid?
Okay, so the process of preparing a tax return.
Yep.
So if you were to come to me and say, hey, look, Tamala, I have my taxes, I got my W-2, or I'm a business owner, I have a 1099, can you do this for me? We'll sit down and I do offer a quote. Like, say, for instance, you just want to see how much you're going to get back. I do offer those. And say, for instance, you just have issues that you want to look into prior to filing your taxes. I do offer a tax consultation or whatever the case may be. But say, for instance, we're moving forward and you say, okay, I'll go ahead and prepare your taxes. You can come into the office or we can do it virtually because you're all the way in what, Florida?
Yeah, I'm all the way in Florida.
Okay. So this is not just for Ohio, by the way. This is for anyone that refer a friend, whether you're in Florida, Alabama, whatever. I can prepare your taxes. Um, so I'll go ahead and set up a consultation. We'll sit down, discuss numbers, um, and you'll provide your receipts. And depending on if you're an individual tax preparer or a business tax, you know,
Mm.
payer. So after that, then I'll go ahead and submit your return. And how I receive payment, I have a bank that I deal with. It's Santa Barbara Bank. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're also called TPG. So what they do is when your refund comes back, okay, before it gets to you, they'll pay me. And then after they pay me, they pay you.
Okay.
Now, say for instance, you don't have a bank. I also provide different options, like you can have a check mailed to you, or I can send you a prepaid card. I'll provide you with your routing and account number. Now, the prepaid card is through Green Dot. So if you do have any issues setting up your Green Dot card, you can reach out to Green Dot itself. But that's pretty much how the process go. Now, if you have issues with anything in the waiting process, you can always give me a call or, check the status of your refund with the information that I provided you. So I'll send you a copy of your tax return through email, and I'll also mail you a copy
Mm.
and
Okay.
keep a copy on file. But I can only hold your documents for up to 3 years. So I hope you save your own documents.
So, hey, Tamala, so what happens after 3 years? You have to like get rid of them by law?
Yes, the max you're supposed to hold them up to 3 years. So, say for instance, 3 years, 4 years later, you need some information. You can always reach out to the IRS, and they'll be able to send you a transcript.
Mm. Okay. So, what other services do you offer?
So, as I stated before, I also offer business services. So, there's a lot of people out here that is looking to start a business, but they don't really know where to start. So, it depends on where that person is at when they come down to starting a business. Some people don't know their business name. So I can help come up with a business name, come up with a logo idea, um, you know, processing the applications for the LLCs, EINs, um, websites, basic websites. I'm not like a graphic designer.
Mm.
So I do the basic website. However, I am partnered with A Rose Designs. So if you go through Peerless Tax Service and you want something extravagant, like a real unique logo or real unique website, I can refer you to A Rose Designs, and she'll give a discount by strictly using, a promo code that we have set up, and she'll do the extra stuff. Okay. But I also help people with their business cards, flyers, a business credit, Rose Designs, and she'll give a discount by strictly using, a promo code that we have set up, and she'll do the extra stuff. Okay. But I also help people with their business cards, flyers, a business credit, Rose Designs, and she'll give a discount by strictly using, a promo code.
Yo, I didn't even know that you stopped talking. You know, it was still playing on Facebook.
Yeah, I stopped talking for a minute because of the lag. So I'm like, oh, this is the lag that we were talking about. It was the lag. There goes the lag.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, I muted mine. I don't know if you muted yours, but I muted mine. But yeah, moving on. So what's a couple like tax hacks or like tax secrets that you could give somebody right now, just so
Now,
that
what
they can
will
know
you
that they
consider
might
a
not know?
tax secret? Well,
Huh?
I can tell you this. I don't know how many people know this right now, but as of the 8th, yesterday, January 8th, was the first day that business owners can start filing their tax returns.
I ain't know that.
Okay. Another tax tip that I can provide is you can file your taxes as early as December the 31st. However, it won't be accepted until the IRS release the acceptance date.
Okay.
So, another thing that tax, when you're doing your taxes, you want to make sure that you don't owe any debt, because I know if you're looking forward to a tax return and you don't know if you got any outstanding debt, and when they say, okay, your release date is going to be February the 12th, and when February 12th comes, I don't want no one to say, hey, Peerless Tax Service, I didn't receive my tax return. What's going on? Well, they won't actually say it to me, because one of the steps that I do take before submitting a return is looking into, your social security number, seeing if you have any outstanding debt. And if you do, prior to submitting your return, I'll give you the option, hey, do you want to, reach out to, for example, child support or student loans? Here's the number to contact, see what you need to do. Can you get on a payment plan? Can they defer this loan? Is it something that you can do, or make some type of payment so that your tax return isn't garnished, and so on. So I help all my clients make sure they try to get the best results possible when it comes down to filing their taxes.
Okay. So say if I don't know what I'm doing with taxes or whatever, and I change my tax exemptions
Oh,
to a
Lord.
number that I shouldn't change it to, and I end up getting audited. Like, what would I do? Like, what's the solution?
Well, when changing your tax exempts, you don't get audited. Okay. What happens is you just don't get a large refund.
Mm.
So, depending on your pay bracket, though, you can penalize yourself, and you can go into like, um, it's not a review. What would happen is the IRS or someone from the IRS department will reach out to you and say, hey, look, you haven't paid enough taxes. I'm going to use my fiance as an example. Not that he had his tax exempts high, but they didn't feel that he was paying enough taxes because he's a truck driver. So
Mm.
he's in a different pay bracket.
So he was on the 1099?
No, he's not a 1099. He's still a W-2.
Oh, okay.
He's not a 1099 just yet.
Mm.
But they didn't feel, even though he had his exempts on like 5, they still, or 4 or 5, I can't remember. They still felt like he wasn't paying enough taxes. So they wanted him to up his exempts. So he had to go to his employer and make adjustments to his W-4 so that it shows that he pays enough taxes. Now, it is good to actually be or have a 1099 if you're going to be, self-employed. However, if you're not reporting your income properly, it can backfire when it's time to file your taxes. But to answer your question, you're not going to get audited. It's just your return isn't going to be a lot. So, for example, in box 2 on your W-2, if it's not enough federal taxes coming out, then you got a small return. But if you got the more federal taxes that come out, the better your return looks. If that makes sense.
No, that does make sense. It makes a lot of sense. And just to speak on talking about like not paying enough taxes, right? So back in like 2017, I was doing a business called My Econ, and
Okay.
basically they teach you how to you minimize your tax exemptions or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
so you can bring back the most money. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mm-hmm.
my problem is I was treating the business more like it didn't matter and more like a hobby. So I was hopping on it.
Okay.
I wasn't really trying to get customers. I wasn't trying to get people to join or anything like that. So basically, I was getting tax benefits, but I wasn't doing a business. Now,
Okay.
when I filed my taxes, I'm thinking like I'm about to get like almost 2 bands back or something. Yo, I went to Liberty Taxes too, so I don't know if you know nothing about them, but I do not like them because I feel like they set me up. But the reason I say they set me up is because I came with names and stuff like that I met with, so I had like documentation, but I didn't create any income off the business. But I end up owing like $1,500 in taxes because they said that I didn't look legit on paper and they would rather me pay
So
back.
you went to file your business taxes, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I end up owing this money or whatever. But with me, I didn't know if I did anything wrong. But then I thought about it like, yo, I didn't pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? How I should have. So I ended up owing. So I was on a payment plan for like maybe a year, if not, might have been less than
So
that.
what did you when you went to file your taxes? What did you do? A 1099 or a Schedule C? Like how did they prepare your taxes? Do you know?
To be honest, I don't even remember. I don't even
Okay.
remember. But
What were you using to keep track of your funding? Like, you know how if you use Cash App or PayPal, they'll send you like a 1099 form at the end of the year
no,
of
I
how
didn't
many
do
deposits and stuff you
that.
made.
No, I didn't use none of that literally. But
Oh,
I
you,
did.
oh.
The thing is, I wrote. See, I didn't know that how serious the IRS was. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I wrote names down and phone numbers of people I met with. I just didn't accumulate any money or any revenue off the business because people didn't want to join. People didn't want to sign up. By me actually having people sign up was how I made money. But if people
Okay.
didn't sign up, then I don't make any money. So I look
Right.
like I'm just trying to get over on the IRS. The IRS looking at it like, oh, you owe us money. Like, so that was my situation. I just wanted.
So, okay, if you did not provide any proof of income, if you don't have any income,
Mhm,
then you technically don't owe. Because, like you said, you would have, if someone would have signed up, then that means you would have got paid, right? So,
mhm.
no one was signing up, which means you didn't get paid, right?
Right.
So, I'm confused a little bit.
You confused?
A
So
little bit, yeah, because technically you shouldn't owe anything or have to go on a payment plan. I really don't know how Jackson Hewitt prepared your taxes, though. So
it was
that's the
Liberty
only
tax.
thing.
So if it was Liberty taxes, I'm pretty sure that whoever
Oh,
did
Liberty
my
taxes. Sorry, let me not say
yeah.
the wrong people.
So whoever did my taxes, I'm pretty sure they might have did it incorrectly. You get what I'm saying?
Mm,
So how would I
probably.
go about that now if I already paid the taxes if it was done incorrectly? Like what would I
Well,
do?
you'll still need to reach out to the IRS and you'll have to notify them and let them know, like, hey, I feel that my tax return was done incorrect. And what they'll do is they'll, have you do like an appeal and you'll write why you feel like it was incorrect. And then they'll open that year back up for you and then allow you to submit documentations proven whatever you stated.
Now, real quick, so I was still in the army when I did it and was
Right.
doing the business. So is it legal for them to combine my army W-2s or whatever with the business?
No, the IRS have everything that you ever, like say for instance, you were working
Mm-hmm.
during the service. They have all that reported income saved. So
Right.
you'll just call them and say, hey, I don't have access to my W 2 at that time or my 1099 at this time. Are you able to submit or send me a copy of it's still considered like a transcript? Okay. So they'll
Mm.
send you a copy of it. And then it's not like a regular W 2 though. So it's best that once you get it, you either call a tax preparer or go to another office, such as Peerless Tax Service.
Yeah.
Because the way that the form it looks, it just looked like a whole bunch of gibberish stuff that's typed up. It's not like an actual W-2 form, how it's like box 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. It doesn't look like that. So you'll be confused.
Okay. So another thing, it just kind of popped up in my head. So I'm a student right now at
Mm-hmm.
University of South Florida. So I know that if you, I think, buy books and stuff like that for education, you can claim that on your taxes. What
Yep,
are
you're
some,
waiting for the form. You have to wait for that 10. It's a 1095. It's a
okay.
form that come in the mail.
So what's like some, I guess, tax benefits that people really don't know about that they can claim on their taxes, even if you don't
Well,
have a
I
business?
don't know how many people actually claim, but driving, mileage,
Hmm.
purchasing a house, purchasing a car, um, saving all your receipts, whether it's food or clothes. You want to save all of that because those go into your exempts and your deductions and like the things that you then spent over the time and paid taxes on. So
Hmm.
I don't know how many people actually save their receipts, but it is good to actually, if you haven't already started saving, start saving today so that you can work on your tax return next year. Get you a shoebox and just put it all in the box. Put it all in the box.
Mm. So you telling me like without a business, I could still claim gas mileage, say if I
Yeah.
pay for a home, uh, and whatever else you said, like I can claim all that. So would I be
Hmm.
getting that back or how would it?
So here's a way, a little tax tip for small businesses that still work. You know, you get your 1040, but you also have some type of self-employment too. You can connect it too. So it's a 1040 connected with a Schedule C. The Schedule C is, you know, the laws, the things that you go in full detail of your expenses that you spent with your business as well. So if, for example, me, I have an office, but I pay rent here. I'm leasing. I mean, I have to pay. So I can put that in, how much I pay a month times 12. And then it goes into details with materials, like I got computers and stuff. You put that in, and my utilities, my lights, my gas, I put that in. And then it, calculate everything together and tell you whether you're gonna owe the IRS or you're gonna owe or get a refund.
Okay. So no, that's good. I didn't even know all that. But
Yeah. Like
so
for example, I had a teacher and he was behind on his 2014 and 2017 tax return, right? And he had owed. And I'm like, listen, but he did tutoring on the side, like private tutoring. So I'm like, yo, you're not following that you do tutoring on the side. That's how you gonna help yourself get from owing to a refund. So, I helped him out. He went from owing like $2,400.
hmm.
And I ended up getting him a refund of about 1,400. Not It's way better than being negative
Yeah, he was in the hole, so you
24.
actually helped him. That's crazy. So how do you like learn about tax laws in different states and stuff like that? Like how do you stay up to date?
So me personally, I am partnered with Drake Software. That's the software that I use to prepare taxes. Drake Software is similar to like TurboTax, you know, Free Tax USA. It's a lot of different tax sites that you can go and self prepare your taxes. But my site alone is Drake Software. And what they do is they provide me different course. They give me different updates of what's new, like the CARES Act, um, and so on. So it's just different webinars that they send to the tax preparers to keep up to date on what's going on, the tax credits that's out here, the ones that has been removed, and things like that. Earned income credits, what you can and cannot do, and that's pretty much how I stay updated.
Okay. So how does having an LLC benefit people when it comes to tax services? Like, what are some of the benefits with having an LLC?
Well, having an LLC is good because you're not really paying a lot of taxes. Okay, when you become a corporation, whether that's a C corp or S corp, small corp or big corp, they pay more taxes than an LLC.
Mm,
So, for example, I don't know if many people know this or not, but Google is an LLC.
mm,
And they have all these ads, and there's so many people paying for Google services, but they're probably not paying a lot of taxes, as in Google isn't paying a lot of taxes because of the fact
right.
that they're up under an LLC. And I want to say Amazon is up under an LLC as well.
Mm.
And he's a, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's stuff you don't ever think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would think Google would be like a corporation and not a LLC.
Well, lately I've been seeing these pop-ups that say Google LLC. So I'm like, I never knew that. I
Hmm.
never knew that. But um, Donald Trump, he made some adjustments to the tax laws. Okay. So it's different things that I have been researching on because I didn't know. Yep, I didn't know. So when I don't know something, I look into it.
Hmm.
But I was just told that there's something called like bonus deductions where, are you familiar with bonus deductions? You hip to it? Because I know
Uh,
you be into your credit stuff too.
yeah, I know a little bit, but I ain't that familiar with that.
Okay. So from my understanding, I'm still researching on it. From my understanding, a bonus deduction is for people who has a business, and it goes based off of pounds. Now, the reason how I heard this because I was, inquiring about purchasing a car through your business or whatever the case may be. Um, and basically, they said like cars weigh off of pounds. So if you have a car that's 6,000 pounds or less, there's different ways that you can write it off on your taxes, whether you financing it through your company or leasing the car through your company. So if your car is, I guess for normal people that's filing taxes, the way our car depreciate is over the 7 year time frame. And every year it depreciate by like 5,700 and some change.
Hmm.
But when you're doing it up under your business, that first year, um, you can write your car off under your business credit. This is business credit, so you can write it off. The first year is 18,000. Actually, I have it in my notes. Hold on, give me a second. So I'm explaining this right.
So
So
it's a certain amount you can write off, or is it the amount that your car is worth?
okay, so the pounds will determine how much your car weighs, whether it's going to be up under that 6,000 pounds or over that 6,000 pounds. So I don't really know the details and the breakdown of how it works with the pounds, but it does go based off of how much the car costs. So the person that was telling me about it, they had a range. One of them had a Range Rover, and the other one had a G wagon. So the G wagon, of course, is the G wagon, of course, is over 6,000 pounds. Okay. The Range Rover was up under 6,000 pounds. So depending on if you're financing that vehicle up under your company or if you are leasing the vehicle up under your company will determine how much you can write off on your taxes every year. So to my understanding, when you are leasing, not leasing, financing the vehicle, if your vehicle weighs 6,000 pounds or up under 6,000 pounds, the first year you can write off 18,000. The second year you can write off 16,000. The third year you can write off 900, $9,500. And then every year after that, you will write off the $5,760. And
Hey,
these are write-offs. So eventually, depending on how much your car costs, you're gonna wrote your whole car off and pretty
hey,
much.
I got a question. Like, I just want to make sure I'm catching on. So when you say talk about the tax write-off for your car, so say if I wrote off 18,000, are you saying that I could get the 18,000 back or break that down?
So I am still taking that course on that because that was my question. But to my understanding, the way that she broke it down to me, yes.
Dang.
Because you know how you donate at the end of the year, you write it off and get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that. So
No, that's
I'm still, because I was like, wait a minute. And that's if you're financing the vehicle. But if you are leasing the vehicle, you can write that off at 100%. It's a lot of
yo,
things
that's
that
crazy.
that's out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I might
I
have
was
to hop on.
taking notes. So as I stated, my fiance is a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
So we are on the market looking for a semi truck. Um, but credit plays a big part. Now going into this, we don't want to have him get a loan out on himself, like a personal loan. We want him to actually get the semi truck through his company. Okay, so that's why I was asking questions about purchasing a vehicle through your company and how does it actually work.
Mm.
So I'm still doing my research and I will later on have all the details, but I'm still working on it. So I don't want to say too much. I said enough of what I heard and what I took down in my notes, but I'm
Right.
I'm, I'm still a rookie at it. But give me a couple of weeks, I'll probably master
Yeah,
it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, if he could work that out when his his job, his company, that might
Hmm.
even be better than using the LLC to do it.
Yeah,
'Cause-
see, we already, me being me, he already has his LLC and his EIN. We're just working on building the credit for his business. So
right.
his company is TYP Trucking.
Mm-hmm.
So TYP just stands for Trust Your Process.
Okay.
So we are in the process of starting our own trucking company.
Mm-hmm.
So we're making moves.
Hey, you ain't gotta say too much. You already gave us a lot. Yeah, you ain't gotta say too much because yo,
So,
man,
if you ever need us to transport something for you, you can just Fearless Tech Service, TYP Trucking,
yeah,
we're here for you.
that's what's up, low key. Cause like once y'all get that truck, he don't even have to drive the truck if he know how to dispatch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're actually working on that too. We'll be offering those courses within the next month or two.
Okay, now Tamley, yo, you turned up all 2021.
Yeah, I turned up on 2020. So I was, I'm making noise 21.
Yeah,
I was working 2020. I'm making noise 21.
okay. No, I respect it. So what's something that you wish you would have knew before like starting your business?
Mm. I wish I would have known um, about keeping addresses and stuff consistent. I think we briefly talked about this
Okay.
yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So when it come down to this whole business credit stuff, you want to make sure that addresses are consistent. When I first came up with the idea of Peerless Tax Service, I didn't have a location at the moment. So I was just in a rush to make sure I look good on paper when I do find, me a location. However, now that I'm trying to build business credit, my addresses wasn't consistent. So when I applied for my DN, basically I was denied because
Hey,
it was too many different,
what's your DN so people know?
yeah, DUNS number.
Okay.
Yeah. You gonna just listen. You gotta talk in code so you can get people to come mess with you and me.
No, I feel you. No, some people know though. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know. But when you said DN in my head, I was like, let me make sure I'm catching on correct. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you know how it goes.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But yeah, so when I applied, my addresses and things wasn't consistent, so I didn't get approved. So I wish I would have known to keep everything consistent instead of just jumping out the tree and doing stuff. Because I probably would have had good business credit right now.
Yo, you said something the other day. You said something about making sure that all your ducks is in a row, or like,
Hmm.
or do everything correct the first time. If not, you're gonna have to pay more later. Something like that. You said.
Exactly. Exactly. So, just it's just everyday life. You try to find these shortcuts, and these shortcuts really don't get you nowhere, or not it's not getting you where you want to go. And what happens is you end up paying out more depending on what shortcut you took. So, for example, I didn't take no shortcuts opening up Peerless Tax Service. I did. But I wish I would have known about business credit prior to opening it up, because then I would have been able to probably finance a few things like the computer, and that would help my business grow in
Mm,
the right credit direction that I'm looking to go in.
right.
But so I went out here and I paid for everything. And that's kind of, you can do it that way when you start a business, but in the long run, it's depending on what type of business you're starting, it might mess you up. And reason being is, if you don't got money for payroll and you need somebody to help you,
Right.
what you gonna
Yeah, you might have to ask one of your rich
do?
friends.
Right. But if you can save some money up front by, using some of your credit, that's what I would strongly advise people that starting a business.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's actually good because a lot of people don't know. Like, shoot, with the business credit, what I've been learning, like you can go to like 4 or 5 different banks. And I wrote down a list of banks. I gotta find my notebook. I'll let you know offline.
Chase is definitely on that list, I know.
Yeah, it is. No, but
Chase is
wait,
definitely on the business list for
that's
sure.
true. But I didn't know that you could go to say Chase, for instance. I don't remember
Hmm.
Chase exactly, but you can go to Chase in a matter of I think 12 months and get 5 different business credit cards or something like that just from Chase.
Yeah. So, but before even applying for a business card, you got to kind of establish some type of relationship with some type of company saying that you are responsible and you can pay your bills on time. See, that's the thing. You're not going to just jump out there and get a credit card. It's hard to get credit cards with businesses, but the process of receiving a business credit card is faster than a person that's trying to get a personal credit card. That's
Mm,
the pros of having business credit. See, the way that business credit work, they give us like a larger range of money that we can get because they know that our business need that money. And if you're a good business, you're in good standing, you're making money, they gonna keep giving you the money. They gonna keep giving it to you.
Hey, Pamela, another thing is you got some businesses out here that's like small business friendly that you can go to because they want to
Hmm.
help small businesses just getting off the
Investors,
ground.
yeah.
Yep. So something I've been learning. I'll be researching. I'll be on Instagram and Facebook. Well, mainly Instagram, and I just be on Instagram and YouTube. But
Yeah.
learning all this information because you got people out here that's teaching you so much information. And it's good to always have like a notebook or something like that, or notes in your
Yeah,
phone. Write it down.
I have someone that I'm actually working close with. He did help me with my personal credit, so he also helping me. uh, he's also helping me with business credit tips as well. So if anybody is looking for credit repair, you know, Mr. Flowers is working his way on that market. But
Yeah.
until he get there, um, Curtis, and I don't know if anybody know him already. His name on Instagram is like, I can't even remember, but his name is Credit Curtis. That's what I'll call him, Curtis.
Freddie
That's
Curtis.
my buddy. Yeah, I would have to look up his Instagram name. It's something with a T something. But he's great. I mean, it's hard to trust people. And when it come down to repairing credit, you got to give them basically your life. So,
Right.
me personally, I want everyone to trust me with their life, but because I felt like from my past, give me 1 second. How can I help you? Yes. Take care. Tune in to my live. Are you on Instagram? Live. You will see where I'm at. Tune in. All right. Tell Ray to tune into my live too, because I haven't seen y'all yet. Bye.
Making phone
Sorry.
calls, right?
Kids. That's my 12-year-old. But um, when you're giving somebody your information, you gotta pretty much trust them. And that's the biggest thing about doing taxes. You gotta build some type of relationship with the client. I am not out to get anybody, okay? If I prepare your taxes, you paying me to prepare your taxes, I'm taken care of already, okay? But just the social security number alone is a lot.
Yeah.
And I do know that identity theft is at its all-time high right now. So even if you don't come to Peerless Tax Service and you go to H&R Block, you have to trust the people that you're dealing with. And growing up, my grandmother used to always tell me, keep a receipt. Okay, I don't care if it's a text receipt, a
Mm.
piece of paper. Remember who you're dealing with, know the name of the person you're dealing with, and just keep copies because you never know what can happen down the line. But the more information you can provide at the time of something happening, it'll help you out in your situation. So I'm just telling everybody, just be careful with who you give your information to and protect it. Shoot.
Okay. So I was gonna ask you next. So what's next for you? Like, what should people be expecting from Tamala Waters?
Hey man, it's up in the air for real. I
That's probably
definitely have goals to franchise. I did also state that I am in the process of helping my fiance start his trucking company. We are looking to do dispatch courses in the next couple of weeks or a month or so. Um, I am planning to move. I haven't decided if I'm moving to Texas or Georgia, but I am moving. So, you know, right now it's in the air for me. I think the next big move after this tax company and trucking company, definitely going into real estate.
okay.
I think we discussed that too. So I'm on the market right now as we speak. So I'm not sure what the name will be. It might just be Peerless Real Estate. You never know, but just tune in. My life is always doing something. I just got to get it. I got two growing boys, 12 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
12
And
and 2.
one is getting real old, and he
Yeah,
getting tall too.
I'm still feeling young. I feel like I still got it.
I feel you. Nah, I definitely feel you.
It's just the biggest thing about being a business owner though is trying to find time for everything, time for yourself, time for your family, time for your business. It's just trying to manage time for me.
Mm.
So before I add one more thing onto this plate, I got to master that time.
No,
But I
I
don't
was
want to, die chasing the dollar sign. I want to be successful. I want to live comfortable, but I just don't want to die trying to chase the dollar sign and miss out on too much.
No, I feel you. I definitely agree. With everything that you're trying to do, like how do you educate your children on like finances and business and stuff like that?
So Royal isn't there yet. Royal is only 2, so we ain't talking money with him. However, I am installing in Jaquel, which is my 12-year-old, that he do need to save money. Now Jaquel, he see his mother grinding all the time. So he do have a clothing, he has a clothing line that is coming out.
Mm,
The clothing line that he has coming out is called High Fashion Steppers and um, Born to Go.
mm.
So,
I like that.
my son, he's into this fashion. He's finding himself. He wants the finer things in life. But I tell him, like, listen, you got to get out there and get it too. I
Right.
mean, you want it. What you gonna do to get it in the right way? You know, you don't want to just push your children out there to try to go after money. You gotta have a goal. You gotta set goals for yourself. You gotta be consistent. You gotta figure out, know, how much it costs to invest in some shirts. You got to do your research. You can't just expect for everybody to do the legwork for you. You got to figure it out too. So he's learning, but he's still spoiled. So
no, I feel you. Yeah, but we about to wrap this up. But I want to just ask you one more thing. Would you be able to leave a positive message for the world? Like, let them know something.
Okay, so I know that COVID had interfered with a lot of people working. I do want you guys to know that it is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Stay positive, keep searching, and find what's best for you. On another note, when it comes down to business ideas, go for it. Chances make champions. So if you got an idea in the back of your head, but you're nervous of what somebody think, or if your business isn't going to succeed, erase some thoughts and just go. Just go. The sky's the limit. And if you fail, it's okay. You'll get back up. And it's going to be something else around you or a little voice telling you that you should do this next time. But the goal is to figure out where you made your mistake, get back up and do it again and avoid the first mistake that you made. So, I want to thank you so much, Deontay, for having me on your show. This was a lot for me. This is my first podcast. So I was nervous, but I really enjoyed, being on your show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna save the video and I'm gonna shoot it to you so you can post it later or whatever.
No doubt.
Yeah, but I appreciate you for being on
there. Yeah, because the next time you have me on this show, I have more to tell about this business deductions and all of that stuff. So you just shoot me a little message and let me know.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you and enjoy the
rest.
No
problem. Thank you.
All right.
And I wish you well.
You too. And
all right.
tell I said what's up.
I will.
All right.
All right, bye.